So Sunday is always family day. That's how it is. I work basically 6 days a week, so Sunday is just it is wholeheartedly focused on family. That's why for those who aren't watching the video, I am wearing my Mickey pajamas because it's part of the thing. At the end of the day, we have showers and we get dressed for bed, and we my daughter picks the pajamas. And so today she picked Mickey because if your clothes don't have pictures on them, what the fuck's the point? Legitimately, my clothes have to have pictures on them. And she gets really upset when I go to work because obviously my work uniform doesn't have pictures on them. So I have to have socks and underwear that have pictures on them because that makes her happy. And I had someone question me about this, and I was like, I feel no shame. I have no shame about anything. Two, my daughter's happiness trumps fucking everything else. And so if wearing Mickey pajamas or wearing pink socks with bananas on them makes her happy, why wouldn't I do that? Like, who is it hurting to do that? And it brings her such joy. Especially if we can end up matching, because for my daughter, everything has to be pink. So, But yeah, today is family day. And on family days, it is always a bit more difficult to get my, 126 to greatness list done because I spend all day with my family. And today is a perfect example of it. My beautiful wife indulged me. I am someone who likes adventures. I like to do stuff. I like to get out. I like to do things. I like to see things, even if that's just going to, the shops and walking around the shops. I need to get out and do things. It's part of who I am. Anyway, we hadn't been to the zoo for a while, and my kids fucking love animals. They adore it. And I was like, yesterday, we should go to the zoo. So this morning we got up and we went to the fucking zoo. And we had a great day. Oh, God, do they love animals? It is unbelievable. They're obsessed with it. And we could have sat there for ages just watching all the different animals. But again, it's about their happiness and what lights them up and, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we had just an epic day at the zoo. But here's the thing, and this is the question I get asked a couple of times on this, we walked around all day. We were there for 5 odd hours or whatever it was, and we walked the whole time. Yes, we were stopping, we looked at things, all that kind of stuff. And, people were often like, oh, well, that counts as your workout or that counts as your walk. And I'm like, no. That's something I chose to do. That's something fun. That was enjoyable. That was with my kids and my wife, and that was fantastic. My workout and my dedication, they're separate to that. It has to be a definitive choice. A workout isn't something that just happens. Me working on, out in the yard, lifting stuff. That's not a workout. That's bonus. That's you get fit, you get strong, you get healthy to do those things. They are not workouts. This is a definitive choice that you have to make time for. So, I've just put both my kids to bed. It is now time to do this. So I'm doing this first, and then I'm going to go hit a workout, and I'm going to hit my cardio. Like, this is what has to be done. And this is part of the process, and it's part of that mental discipline as well, because, again, it'd be very, very easy to just say I did the walk today. Who could fault me? No one. I did. I walked, 5+ hours today. Like, I did that. But I didn't do that. That's what I did today. I didn't do my 45-minute weighted walk. They are separate things. So, when my wife gets back from the shopping, because I'm looking after the kids, they're sleeping, I'm going to go for a weighted walk. That's the reality of this. And this is the part where it's a slippery slope, because it seems like splitting hairs. It seems like, making a to-do about nothing. But it's not. This is the separation. And that's what we're here for. We're here to separate ourselves from mediocrity, from average, from, shadow work in our life from resistance, because resistance is screaming at me, especially on these days, and it's nearly always fucking Sunday because my kids get up crazy early, so it's not like I can get up earlier to go do this stuff first. Still always late at night, and to to do this work, but that's where it counts. The most important moments, the moments when it counts the most, is when nobody is watching. When there's nobody else to take note, to hold you accountable. Where you could just say whatever you wanted to say and they'd be like, okay, fair enough. There's no accountability except you. But when you don't keep your word to yourself, when you let that down, you know. And it chips away at who you are. It chips away at the man that you are. And that's a slippery fucking slope. And that's why this is so important. That's why it's a zero choice mentality. If it has been mapped out beforehand, it is predetermined, it is happening. End of story. Because you need to work on the skill of willpower, the skill of fortitude, the skill of keeping your word. Because that's where that confidence comes from. That's where that, self-integration, no, that's not the right word, that I can't even come up with a word, but that ability to do the work and to know when you walk into the room that you are that guy because you have this massive history of keeping your word to yourself. And most of us don't, myself included. That's why I'm back here, because I wasn't keeping my word to myself. I was lying to myself. And I was lying to others about it. And I have to build that credibility here first. I have to build that credibility with me first so that I can then step forward and have credibility with others. So that when I say something, they all know that it is getting fucking done. If I say something is getting done, end of story. It is happening. That's where I need to get to. But I haven't earned that right yet. I haven't earned that ability because, for more time than not, if I said something, it's heavily questionable if it's actually getting fucking done. Like, I mean, heavily questionable. And I have to earn that back. I have to earn that back with myself first, then with my wife, then with my kids, then with all those around me. But as time goes on and I build that within me, it'll be easier because it always sounds woo-woo and people are like, I don't believe it. But it's about how you vibrate, how you show up. If you show up knowing who you are in here, it'll emanate to those around you. They will know that you're that type of guy. You walk into a room and people go, Like, have you ever seen that when someone walks into the room and all eyes turn and you're not really sure why? You just go, that's somebody. Why is it somebody? Why is that person somebody? It's because of what they put out, because of what they know and hear as to who they are. They know that they are that guy, that they are that man, and they've earned the right to walk into the room and be like, fuck yeah, here we go. And that's how you do it. It starts in the gym. It starts with your mental fortitude. It starts with nutrition. It starts with even simple things like posting your photos daily to someone other than yourself, not just taking them, posting them. And that might mean you just send it to a friend, or if you want to work with me, you send it to me. It might be in those things, but it means that it has to go to someone other than just a snap in your phone, because you have to own that, because it'd be too easy to let it slip. It's these kinds of things, these little things that might seem like nothing, that mean everything. And this is what we're working on. And I had a moment today when I was thinking about it, and it was like, we are so ingrained in our society to pick the easier path, the simpler path. And as I said today, I went for a walked for 5 hours. It'd be really easy to tell that in. But the other one that I had in that is, so at the end of the zoo, obviously you go through the gift shop, and we let the kids pick something. Now, they can pick anything they want. Anything. Like, legitimately anything within, not like, the $700 adult size platypus that was there, but, within reason, anything they want. And my daughter picks a book. Not just, any kind of picture book, but a book about the specific qualities like of parrots and cockatoos. And that's fucking amazing. And me and my wife were talking about this on the way home, and I was like, I'm really, really proud of that. And we were talking about our son, and we're like, well, Sam was like, well, hopefully he will get there too. And I was like, he's already there. I just told him he had to pick between, the stuffed animal that he chose and a book. He wanted both, and I said he couldn't have both, so he picked the stuffed animal. But I think within the next 6 to 12 months, he'll pick a book over a toy. And that's great that already they are picking, books over stuff, knowledge over things. And that's where we want to get them to. But that's also been A, a deliberate choice on our behalf, and B, leading by example. Look, I have all these books behind me. I have more at my gym. My wife has 3 bookcases full of books. We are book people. They both have bookshelves with books on them. We read books every single night. We read books every day. We do that as a pastime. This is just something that's ingrained in them that we do. They fucking love it. They want to take books when we go in the car. Every time we go out, they want to buy more books. And it's this thing of you leading by example. And that's not always easy. But that's a big, big fucking portion of why I do this, is so that I can be the man that I know I should be, to lead by example for my children. And it starts really young, but we've started with books. I read every single day. So does my wife. We read to them. It's the same with the gym. They see me work out all the time, to the point where my daughter asked me when we were looking at a house the other day, not asked me, she said to me, she was like, this house won't work. There's no place to put you for a gym. We went to another one. And she's like, Daddy, where are you going to put your gym? She knows that that is an important factor, that that's part of our world, that there needs to be a space in our house for my gym so that we can all, as a family, work out. They love lifting weights. They go down there and they lift weights. They have their own weight setup, leading by example. And it's this concept of sacrifice. I will grant that we don't have a large circle of parent friends. We are more isolated in that capacity. But I have never, so far, met another child who has never watched TV in their life. Neither of my children have ever watched TV. And to be honest, I'm probably going to push that for as long as humanly possible. And there is plenty of reasons, like eye development, brain development, behavioral, all that kind of stuff. But even just down to choices. It's an easy, sedation, simple method for us as parents as well as for them as children. There are many days when life is hard and it would be so much easier to just plonk them down in front of a screen and be like, just be quiet for a couple of hours. Especially long road trips. Here's a phone, here's an iPad, here's something like this. Just be quiet for a couple of hours. But life is not about choosing the quick fix. It is about choosing the thing that is going to benefit you the most. And I truly believe, and it frustrates me no end when I watch other parents, and it is really hard because parenting is fucking hard. Oh my God, is it hard. It is the most rewarding and greatest thing you'll ever do with your life. But it is also really, really difficult. But at the same point, I'm like, when are parents and they deliberately choose to be selfish rather than do what's best for their children, I can never understand that. We sacrifice so much for our kids because that's what you have to do as a parent. That's how you do it as a parent. And it doesn't mean giving up things. Like, as I said, I work out with my kids. They come with me. It makes it more difficult. But they are there and they witness it and we lead by example. We go and do things. Yes, it makes it more difficult, but they are there and they participate and it leads by example. It doesn't mean you have to give up those things, but it means you have to sacrifice parts of it. And I think becoming a parent is learning to sacrifice, and it is the perfect example for everything. You can't pick the simple road, especially with that, because it'll come back to bite you. When we talk, these people talk about their kids are feral, they're aggressive, they scream, they bite, they think, one, that's part of childhood, but two, it is so incredibly amplified by screens and sugar and bad life choices. And they're like, well, I can't get my kids to eat good food. Well, what the fuck are you eating? If you're not willing to eat good food, if you're not willing to eat the right kinds of things, if you're not willing to exercise, of course they aren't going to do that either. And I think you have a duty and an honor and the privilege of being a parent. Fucking own that. So we were at the zoo today and they're on the playground, and my wife saved 3, I shit you not, 3 children on this playground because the parents couldn't get to the situation to do anything about them. They were not fit enough, small enough, strong enough, agile enough to climb up to where their child was to save them, or then strong enough to lift them out of that situation. So this child is bawling, it's three fucking children, bawling their eyes out. And the parents are just on the ground being like, oh, calm down. No, the kid is scared. One of the children was hurt. And you don't have the physical capacity to go help your child. You have failed your children in that moment. How can we as a society do that? You have to be able to do that. You have to have the capacity at any moment to rise to any situation to protect your child, to step in and save them. And even just then on the fact of fun. My daughter wants me to run with her when we go to the zoo, so we run. She wants me to climb things, so we climb things. It's the ability to show up and do those things. And this is what I talk about. You know, we want to choose dopamine chasing food, watching TV, social media, all these addictive personalities. We want to give them to our children at an early age. They're now bringing out studies that suggest that children are going to, children as young as 5 and stuff are starting to have nearsighted problems because they spend the majority of their time looking at a fucking screen. Let your kids go outside. Let them climb things. Let them play with sticks. Let them be children. Choose the harder road for now, because down the track it will be the best thing you ever do. Read to your kids. Let them read books. Give them as many books as possible. One of the studies suggests that just having books, not even fucking reading them, but having books in your house raises the IQ of your child. Now imagine what it does if you read to them every single day. It's the same as I think it's the million-word equation. You know, kids who are read multiple books every single night versus kids who are not will learn and hear an extra 1,000,000 words by the time they're 5. That is a world of difference to their understanding of the world, their ability to express themselves, their vocabulary, things like that. And to the point where kids are so heavily on screens these days that my mum has a friend whose job is to go into kindergarten and teach the 5-year-olds how to turn the fucking page. I shit you not, we have 5-year-olds who can't turn pages. This is how far we've slipped in society. This is how far we've let it go to just pick the easy route. And I know people who are like, I can't wait. It's so good. My child, my 3-year-old, can now watch a 90-minute movie. So I can sit there and play on my phone for 90 minutes. How is that a benefit to anyone? How is that improving anyone's life? How sad is it that you are so excited about that fact that you now get to spend an hour and a half playing on your phone instead of participating with your child? I didn't say it was fucking easy, but I said it was worth it. And that's the same for all of it. None of this is fucking easy, but it is worth it. You have to become that man. You have to step into that power, that fire. You have to do the work and you have to lead by example. It's time to sacrifice the shit that does not serve you, to cut away anything that doesn't make you money, that doesn't make you grow, and doesn't make you happy. And I can tell you right now, those sedation things are not making you happy. They are filling a hole in you because you are not chasing your potential. You are not chasing your greatness. It is time to be better, do better, and live better. Enact that within you, and you will show up better. It's time to step into the man that you know you can be and should be. It's time to stop playing small. The world deserves better. You deserve better. Everyone around you deserves better. So stop wasting your life and start chasing your potential. 126 days in the grand scheme of things is a very small amount of time to completely change your life and to change the life of everyone around you. You can reach out to me and we can go through it and I can guide you through this process, or you can just jump on and check out the things and just attempt it yourself. Either way, it's time to stop playing small. It's time to chase your greatness.